kids! Welcome to our English class. This is Teacher Jaire of the Honors Tutorial Center, and for today, we're going to learn about the tenses of the verb. Are you ready to learn English? Very good. So please grab your notebook and your pen and let's start learning with me. So just like what I mentioned, for today, we're going to tackle about the tenses of the verb. So what is the meaning of tenses of the verb? So when we say tense of verb, it tells when an action occurs. So we have here the three simple tenses of the verb. We have the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. So what is the differences of those? So when we say present tense, the action is happening now from the word itself, present. When we say past tense, the action already happened. Maybe it already happened before, last week, yesterday, and so on. And when we say future tense, the action is not happening yet, but it is going to happen from the word itself, future. So now, how we'll be able to change the tenses of the verb? So it says here that endings are added to verbs in order to change its tense. So let's start with the present tense. So here are the rules in changing the tense of the verb for the present tense. So the first one, add s to most of the verb. For example, play, plays. But also take note that we're just going to add s in the verb if the subject is singular. If it is already plural, we don't need to add letter s. So in short, we still need to follow the rule of the subject and verb agreement. Second rule, you need to add ing and use a present tense helping verb. So for example, is playing. So we already done discussing about the different kinds of verb. We have the action verb, the linking verb, and helping verb. So here in this example, the helping verb is and playing is the main verb. So is a present tense. Next, verbs ending in s, ch, sh, o, x, or z, you need to add es. Just like in the rule of noun, if the word or if the verb ends with these letters, you need to add es instead of just s. For example, wash, washes, catch, catches. Next rule, verbs ending in a consonant plus y, you need to change y to I and then add es. Again, take note, if the verb ends with letter y, and it is preceded by a consonant letter, you need to change y to I and then add es. For example, fly, flies. So since fly has a consonant letter which is letter L, we need to change y to I and then we need to add es. Next, if the verb ends with a vowel plus y, you need to add s to the verb. Again, if the verb ends with letter y but preceded by a vowel letter such as a, e, I, o, or u, you just need to add s. For example, pray, praise. So as you can see in this example, the letter y is preceded by a vowel letter which is letter a. So in that case, you're just going to add letter s to make it present tense. Is it clear? Okay, very good. So now let's move on to the next tense, which is the past tense of the verb. So the first rule, add ed to most of the verb. Again, you just need to add ed to most of it, but not in all of the verbs. For example, plant. You're going to add ed, it will be planted. Second rule, add ed and use the past tense helping verb. So just like what I said a while ago, when you're going to use a helping verb plus a main verb, you need to make sure that your helping verb is in past tense. For example, was planted. Next, verbs ending in a single vowel and consonant, double the final consonant and add ed. So in some words, if the word ends with a single and then vowel consonant letters, you need to double the last consonant and then you need to add ed. For example, plan. So since it ends with a vowel and consonant, you need to double the letter M and then you have to add ed. Next, verbs ending in letter E, you need to drop the E and add ed. So if the verb already ends with letter E, you don't need to add ed anymore. So just put the letter D or drop the letter E and then add ed. Next, verb ends in a consonant and Y, take off the Y and add IED. So same goes in our previous rule. If the verb ends with letter Y but preceded by a consonant letter, we need to change the Y to I and then add ed. For example, buried. So the word bury ends with letter Y and it is preceded by a consonant letter which is R. So in that case, we need to change Y to I and add ed. Buried. Next, verb ends in a vowel and Y, you need to add ed. So again, if the verb already ends with letter Y and then preceded by a vowel letter, you need to just add ed. For example, enjoy, enjoyed. So the enjoy verb ends with letter Y and is preceded by a vowel letter which is letter O. So in that case, you just need to add ed to make it past tense. Do you get it? Good job! So aside from the past tense of the verb, we also have this irregular verbs. So just like with irregular plural nouns, irregular verbs do not follow a set of rule to form the past tense. So in short, we cannot add d or ed to make it past. We need to change the word itself. So some of the examples are these. It. The past tense of it is ate. Write, wrote, bring, brought, buy, bought, give, gave, sing, sang, know, knew, say, said, awake, awoke, bit, bit, begin, began, bend, bent, bet, bet, bite, bit, blow, blew, break, and broke. So in short, not all of the verbs follows the regular rules. So in short, you need to be familiarized with some of the irregular verbs and its past tense, okay? Alright, so now let's move on to the last one, the future tense. So in future tense, we have one easy rule. So use the main verb with will or shall. You're just going to use the main verb. When we say main verb, this is the base form of the verb. And then you're just going to add will or shall at the beginning of the main verb. For example, will perform, shall visit. Is it clear? Okay, very good. So again, before we proceed to this activity, let's have a quick review. We have three simple tenses of the verb: the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense. Do you understand? Okay, so now let's move on with this activity. Use context clues to help you select the correct verb tense in these sentences. Are you ready? Okay, let's start. Number 1. Mr. Parker works in a bank for 40 years before he retired last month. What is your answer? Works or works? Okay, very good. The correct answer is worked because we have here the keyword for 40 years before he retired last month, which indicates that the sentence already happened in the past. So therefore, we need to add ed at the end of the verb. Second one, now he will hope to catch up on his woodworking projects. What do you think is the answer? Hopes or will hope? Okay, very good. So this sentence is in the present form. So therefore, we need to just add S at the end of the verb. The correct answer is hopes. Number 3. He has, will have, always liked to build furniture. What is your answer? Okay, very good. So just like in number 2, the sentence is in present tense. So therefore, we're just going to use has and not will have because it doesn't indicate something in the future. Second one, fourth one. For his son's birthday in 3 months, he hope to have a bookshelf built. What is your answer? Okay, very good. The correct answer is hopes because again, this sentence is in present tense. It doesn't indicate something that the situation or the scenario already happened in the past. Next, number 5. He built his son a desk for his last birthday. What do you think is the answer? Okay, very good. The correct answer is built because we have here the keyword last birthday, which means that this sentence already happened in the past. Good job! What is your score? Wow, very good. And that is our discussion for today. So, I hope that you learned something about the verb and its simple tenses. So, again, this is Start Teacher Jaire from the Honors Tutorial Center. Goodbye and see you on our next video.